doing influencer hair, makeup, or whatever it is, it's not really all it's cracked up to be. It's really not. Welcome to the 7-Figure Salon podcast with Rachel and Drew. I'm Rachel. Drew's not here. So, haha. I got you guys all to myself. I know Drew's extremely nervous about me doing podcast episodes without him because he likes to know what's going on, and I'm a spontaneous one. So, today, I really wanted to talk to you guys. Just keep it really short and sweet. I know a lot of you guys, this is the busiest time of year. We're all gonna go dive into work. We're all gonna get an autopilot. We're gonna be like hustling and bustling behind the chair. But I wanted to really talk to you guys in a world where there's AI everywhere. Everyone's using ChatGPT and they're using automations and ManyChat and all these other different uses of technology, which is great because it saves you time. However, what it ends up costing you is your relationship with people. And so I want to talk to you guys about a different type of AI, which is called authentic intelligence. And this is something that I have been speaking a lot to my teams about. This is something we'll be teaching an entire segment on at SalonCon in January. And I want to give you guys a little taste test as to what authentic intelligence means to me and how you guys can really integrate this into your businesses. So, it's interesting. Lately in the salon, we've had a couple of influencers come in and get their hair done. And I'll tell you guys, I know as a stylist or a salon owner, that's just such a cool thing. The idea of having a really popular person on Instagram come in and post about your salon and get their hair done. And, it's kind of like an ego serving type experience, I would say, for both sides, and that's fine. I mean, everybody has ego. Everyone's ego likes to get stroked sometimes. But I do want to say that, if you've ever met somebody that is one way in person and then a completely different person behind the screen, you're not alone. So one particular person came in and she was this bubbly little thing through Instagram, exclamation points, hearts, all this stuff. And then she came in and she's just nothing. Nothing. And I was just wow, are you sure that's her? Doesn't look like her, doesn't act like her, it's just it's so strange. Her energy is so weird and different than it is online. And my whole team was just are you sure? I feel that's not her. Maybe that's maybe she's here for somebody else. I was no, that's her. That's her name. She checked in. That's her name. And they're okay, well, let's do this, And I suffer from RBF. So I was maybe she just has RBF, And that actually means resting bitch face, Burks, if you didn't know. Anyway, so, she was greeted. She got brought back to the chair. And it was so strange because I was just man, this girl is so different than she was online. And they start talking. The artist and her start talking. They're doing a consultation. And she's supposed to come in for extensions. And it's nope, just kidding. I don't want extensions anymore. I want this instead. And I'm just okay. What do you mean you don't want extensions? This is an influencer partnership. We're happy to do it. We're comping this. We're going to, that. We talked about it. We did the DM thing. We talked about it. We sent pictures back and forth. Just it felt like we got catfish. It was the craziest thing. Her hair looked different. She looked different. She certainly acted different. And she wasn't fulfilling on any of the influencer things that we had agreed on in the agreement she signed. So I'm trying to kind of, I did a drive-by, which in my salon is and if you own a salon listening to this, a drive-by is just there's a consultation or a conversation going on and you're just going to kind of casually walk by and you got your listening ears on and you're just kind of feeling out and seeing what's happening. And so I did a drive-by and I could tell even body language, my stylist is just kind of just the energy is dropping. I'm just okay. So I ended up walking up to the client or the influencer and the stylist. I was hey, what's up? How's it going? Oh my gosh, I chatted with you on Instagram. It's so nice to meet you. And she's yeah, this place is really cute. Just super rude. God. Do you need an energy drink? Are you hungover? What's the problem here? And so, no, that's just her. It's just completely just superficial online and surface level in person and just, yeah, not a vibe for me. And so anyways, I told my stylist, I was look, just do this, just kill her with kindness, do this, make sure she's happy, encourage her to post while she's here because that's obviously part of the deal. And she ends up like just, I want to just tell you guys, doing influencer hair, makeup, or whatever it is, it's not all it's cracked up. It's not really all it's cracked up to be. It's really not, because unless you're like, you've experienced this person in real life. And I can tell you it's like this chick, it was like the AI robot version entered, and like the AI, like either that. And I'm like, did we even talk to her? Like, was there someone else we were talking to on DM? Cause just completely different person. And it was a very quiet appointment. She didn't want to chat. She didn't want to do anything. We did our absolute best, did the most amazing transformation on her. We did end up doing extensions because that's what the plan was. And she needed them, my gosh. And so we did the extension. She looked fantastic. We're getting content. We're getting pictures, massive before and after. She's like, I don't want my before picture posted. And I'm like, well, we talked about this. Like, we agreed, per the agreement that I had sent over to you that you reviewed and signed, we do need to post the before picture. We're happy to not put your face in. I totally understand. The angles we got, your face is completely to the side. You aren't able to be recognized. And she's like, well, just don't tag me. And I'm like, but we need to tag you because we agreed that we would do this. So I just want you guys to be careful when you're doing this. Like, please do your due diligence. And if you have any mutual friends with an influencer or anybody at all that you're trying to do influencer partnerships and marketing with, do your due diligence, and like, don't be afraid to reach out to anybody that is like maybe following them that like closely, and just say, hey, like, how's your experience been with this person? Like, have you ever collaborated with them? Have you ever done any type of influencer partnerships? And see what happens. You never know what you'll find. And had I done that, had my team done that like prior to this person coming in, probably wouldn't have selected her in the first place. But at that point, we're like, well, we're here. She's here. We're going to, even though she's not quite pulling through on her end of the deal here, we're going to make sure that we do the absolute best job we can. We're going to get her before and afters. We're going to tag the shit out of her online, whether she likes it or not. this is happening. So one of the questions that I get a lot on my live Q&As inside of our community is like, how can I get influencers to come into my salon? And I want you guys to know that what I think is honestly the most beneficial for your business is not going to be an influencer coming into your salon. An influencer's audience is going to be a very, very, very wide net. It's probably going to contain a lot of people that don't even live in your city, your state, your town. So what I think is a better idea is for you guys to pick somebody who is influential in your community, and somebody who's actually authentic. Somebody who's not going to show up like a freaking robot and like not have a personality, not have a good time, be, a turd the whole time. Have somebody that's actually like the real deal, who is going to be a really good walking advertisement for your company. So I want you guys to think about, where does your ideal customer reside? Where does she reside? Where does she shop? Where does she go? Chances are she's going to look like you. She's going to probably look like you, act like you, probably go to the same places you go to, probably value the same types of services and opportunities that you do. So the stay-at-home mom that may not be the best like walking advertisement for a transformation, okay? And I love mamas, okay? Don't get me wrong. But the stay-at-home mom, that doesn't like, isn't out and about and all around, isn't probably the best at walking advertisement. The barista at Starbucks, probably a great person to interact with. She may not be able to afford coming in for hair extensions, but guess how many people she's seeing on a daily basis? Dozens and dozens and dozens of people. Now, if she has to put all her cute hair under a hat, maybe think twice. But, the girl that works at Free People, the girl that works at Urban Outfitters, at Nordstrom, I mean, think about it. Like, there are so many opportunities. You guys can go find these people. You can go find these influential people and build a relationship. And honestly, you just need to have an opener. And a lot of the people that I meet in my everyday life, it's through an opener. I am not naturally an extroverted person. I'm really not. If you look at any type of behavioral assessment or any type of charting or quiz or anything I've ever done, you'll see that I'm actually slightly on the introverted side, and extroversion's way over here. But I'll turn it up and down when I need to. And this is me, totally me. If I'm on stage, that's the extroversion version of me. I am perfectly happy being in an office alone in silence working on Canva or Google by myself also. But, you know, the idea of going up to a complete stranger and almost like pimping yourself out is kind of nerve-wracking for some people, okay? So the greatest thing you can do that's immediately going to be reciprocated with like, oh my gosh, thank you, is to authentically, keyword, authentically compliment somebody on something that you like about them. It could be like, oh my gosh, I love your shoes. Or, oh my gosh, your little boy is so cute. Or, oh my gosh, like, I love your bag. Like, it has to be authentic though, because people know bullshit. Like, people know, they can sense it. So if you have something, if you have a thought, you notice something, you notice someone, like, don't be afraid to take action and go after that person in an authentic, you know, very honest, awesome, no pressure way, and just give them a compliment. I remember I was walking I was walking out of a gas station a couple months ago, and I honestly had like a pretty shitty day, to be honest. And I was walking out of the gas station, and this girl, just a random girl who was getting gas a few pumps over, she's like, oh my gosh, you look gorgeous today. And I like, me? Like, I'm like looking around like, me? You're talking to me? She's like, yes. Oh my gosh, girl. I love your outfit today. And I actually hated my outfit that day. I wasn't a fan. I was just kind of like, I just put this outfit on. I was like Old Faithful. I was like, I've worn this before. It's fine. Whatever. Less decisions I have to make this morning. And she complimented me. And honestly, like, she completely turned my whole day around. She gave me something. She gave me joy is what she gave me. And I immediately wanted to do something back for her. I wanted to give her something. And I pumped my gas, and I was sitting there, I was just like, that's so nice of her, you know, like, oh my gosh, that's so nice. And then before I got out of the car, she was already driving off. I was like, damn it. I was going to tell her, hey, I've got 2 locations nearby. Like, please stop by a salon sometime this weekend and get a free blowout on the house, like on me. Like, I'd love to do something back. Notice what happened in that moment is that the law of reciprocity happened. And it happens. It is law. It happens again and again and again. You authentically, and she didn't know, oh, hey, there's Rachel who owns 2 salons nearby. Like, she didn't know who I was. I was honestly unrecognizable. Like, I would have been like, I looked a little rough. And, you know, I'm momming. I got a couple kids in the car. My hair's in a messy bun. I'm wearing an outfit I didn't really love. And I'm just trying to get gas and get where I need to go. And it wasn't like she strategically, unauthentically was like going in for a reason. She had no idea who I was. And because of her authenticity, because of her genuine like comment and compliment about me, and she was so freaking enthusiastic about it, I was just like, oh my gosh, everyone here, she decided to bless me with that, you know? And that was just like the coolest moment that's happened in a long time. And I wish I knew her name. I wish I could have given her that blowout. But the law of reciprocity happened, and I wanted to reciprocate. I wanted to give her something. And even though she literally gave me nothing as far as a tangible thing, what she did give me was a feeling. And if you can give people a feeling, you're going to have a lasting impression on that person. Like, I can still see that girl. Like, if I were to see her out and about, like, I would remember who she was because she made a difference in my life that day. And she doesn't even probably know it. So a lot of you guys are probably walking around and not realizing how much difference you're making in other people's lives right now. Or if you're an autopilot, right, which I can easily get an autopilot. You know, to be honest with you, I was an autopilot on the way here today. I was just like, okay, I got to get home. Brooks is waiting on me. Damn traffic. Almost got in a wreck on the way here. Yeah, that's a fact. My brakes kicked in on my car before I did and saved me. So that was cool. Thanks, GMC. But anyway, it's like you can get in autopilot, but you've got to have that self-awareness to bring yourself out. And I wouldn't be able to, I could have totally done 2 podcast episodes or 3 in autopilot for you guys. But would it have hit? Probably not. Would you have felt something? Probably not. And, you know, I think if you're going to do anything, you know, show up and be authentic. Because this world is just going to become more and more and more automated. If we're all honest, it's going to become more automated. People's jobs are being replaced by robots. You know, there's this one freaking coaching company trying to get people to get rid of their front desk and get rid of people on the front and just everything. Don't do that. If you look around and you see a bunch of people doing that, why don't you look at the stuff they're not doing and do that? That gives you an advantage. I could give two shits about what the salons around me are doing. I really don't care. I wish them well. I hope they do well. But if anyone is going to look, if I'm going to look over a fence at anything, I'm going to look and see, what are they not doing? What are they not doing that I could really leverage and take an upper hand on? You know what I mean? And most times it's going to be like the in-person, personalized, authentic, high value, high connecting type stuff. So please don't lose sense of that. As we continue to expand in this, very, very automated world that we live in, don't lose sense of that authentic intelligence that you have within you. So I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I'll see you on the next one.